Chicks, young laying hens for a better future. For the egg producer Robina Katumba, their capital that grows. The price of the small laying hens, about $130 US, constitutes a small fortune for the 40-year-old woman from Uganda. This makes the purchase of new chicks a rare and momentous occasion. 2 years ago, Robina Katumba started with just a few hens, but today she's a successful small businesswoman. She achieved this with a personal loan from the village bank, which Swisscontact had set up in her area. 200 healthy and well-nourished hens cluck around in Robina Katumba's chicken coop. They're her pride and joy because they lay easily 200 eggs a day. This means they're a good source of income since eggs are luxury products in Africa and are priced accordingly. But Robina needs even more for the education of her children.
I hope that when I get enough funds, at least I could bring about 300 or 400 layers so that I can produce enough eggs in a day or in a week to be able to raise my own savings.
Second-hand shoes from Europe and the USA. Much sought-after articles in Africa, as seen here at the wholesale market in Jinja, Uganda's second-largest city. James Vanyala is a shoe trader. Every day he goes hunting for the best specimens. He's been selling second-hand shoes for the past 4 years, ever since the firm where he worked went bankrupt. However, the 34-year-old soon learned that selling second-hand shoes is no different from selling new shoes. To hold on to his customers, he has to constantly work on expanding his assortment. His is the widest range of shoes on the market. James Wanyala has invested what was for him a lot of money in the shoe assortment and the stands. He could only do that with the help of loans of $100, $200, or $300 US. This money also came from the village bank, which was organized and developed by Swisscontact. The personal loans enabled him to create jobs for sales staff and the shoe cleaners, who make sure that the second-hand shoes shine like new every morning. But James Wanyala has even bigger plans.
I would like my business to expand by do some scarcity of capital and whatever. This is why I find that we are on this small business. But it is our only opinion that if we give any chance, we need our business to be expanded.
In the yard behind their house, Grace Oyela and her mother, Martha Nakuya, are fiddling around with chemicals and fragrances. However, it's not a witch's brew that they're boiling up on the open fire. It's shampoo. Martha used to be a chemist, and she knows what she's doing. The work that the two women are doing at home pays well. They're cheaper than the competition. They have more and more customers, which means that they have already been able to expand their assortment. However, just like the shoe trader James Wanyala and the egg producer Robina Katumba, they can't make their business viable by their own efforts. From time to time, they need personal loans, business loans for a few $100s for the purchase of chemicals or containers. And they also obtain them from their village bank, which was set up by Swisscontact. The success that the two women have experienced over the past years has spurred them on. They've caught the business bug. Filling their hair care products by hand no longer seems efficient. They've managed to fight off the competition, and many local hairdressers use their products rather than the more expensive industrially manufactured ones. Now they only produce to order. However, they've realized that the market is bigger, and they find that tempting.
How do you enjoy watching something bigger than this also?
We want to buy a plot, build a very big factory.
At least something more of our own, other than places like this.
Village banking is the key to success for small enterprises, and this is how it works. For example, here in the Kukiriza Savings Bank Group, one of the village banks set up by Swisscontact. It's chaired by the president, the cashier, and the secretary, who are all trained by Swisscontact to carry out their positions. Wednesday is payday. Repayments are effected. Loans are granted. The representative of the commercial bank, which invests the savings from the village bank and grants the loans, is also present. He was also specially trained by Swisscontact for the work with the village banks. The village bank is made up of several core groups which regularly save money up to a certain sum, which they can use as a guarantee for a group credit from the commercial bank. The core group can then draw a loan from the bank amounting to 3 times the amount that the individual member has saved. Loans that are paid out to the individuals are guaranteed by group solidarity. For this reason, it's not possible to accept just anyone into a core group. The financial circumstances and the character and reputation of applicants are carefully investigated. After all, the success of the system lies in the composition of the core group. For those who are familiar with local conditions, it's no surprise to hear that 3/4 of all members of Ugandan village banks are women.
If you give a credit to men, maybe 50% will reach home and 50% may be somewhere on the way left. So if you give the credit to the women, you have actually given a credit to the family. They will work towards paying it back, and it becomes a commitment to the whole family that they have to work hard and pay back the loan.
The same is true for Robina Katumba. The single mother was formerly a teacher. She carefully keeps the books for her small business in meticulous handwriting. And Solomon, the youngest of her 5 sons, also gets the chance to practice his mental arithmetic. Her son Edward is already 20. He helps in the business that Robina Katumba has leased because she was not able to live on her salary as a teacher. Today, the hard-working egg producer not only supports her 5 sons, but also a family she's friendly with, who has got into difficulties. The modest prosperity which the 2 shampoo producers, Martha Nakuya and Grace Oyela, have earned is enjoyed by their children, grandchildren, and cousins. And all 15 people can live off this family business. So the expansion of the small enterprise will have to wait for a while. Nevertheless, the 2 women have managed to save $600 in 2 years. The shoe trader, James Vaniela, has 2 wives and 6 children to feed. All of the Vanielas live in one small room, unthinkable by European standards. But the family knows that in comparison to other Ugandans, they live quite well in their brick house.
Bye.
James Vaniela is proud of what he's achieved, but he still has big business ambitions. The egg producer Robina Katumba and the shampoo manufacturers Grace Oyela and Martha Nakuya have not yet achieved their full potential. They'll be able to build up their businesses thanks to village banking. And Swisscontact will continue to promote microfinance in East Africa, and in this way will enable people with initiative to improve their livelihood, according to the principle of helping people to help themselves.